Welcome to FedScoopTV. I'm Camille Tootie, FedScoop's editorial director, and I'm sitting here with Major General Nick Justice. Welcome.
Well, thank you, Camille. I'm glad to be here.
Let's talk a little bit about the trends in open source technology. What are they?
The trends in open source technology are very much like in any other part of the industry that we're dealing with. They tend to be working up the stack. So you start working up the open stack just like you're working up the OSI model in every other set of software.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the areas in government that you've seen the largest or fastest adoption of open source?
I think particularly with my background in the Army, where we adopted open source first was we were taking it into the tactical systems. A very logical transition to the open source, particularly the operating systems. You know, Red Hat's RHEL, when you move out of the old Unix systems in our command and control systems in the tactical environment.
What do you think that the private sector can learn from the government when it comes to incorporating open source technology?
I think the government and the private sector both are often very challenged with figuring out how to deal with open source procurements, number one. It's not quite the model we're used to, and so the thing that you find is the government has a distinct advantage primarily because of scale. I mean, you take a large corporation in the software industry, they're the size of an installation in the Department of Defense or an agency in the federal government. So one of the things that the open source community can gain from working with the government is to take advantage of that large scale deployments. I mean, you've seen some of those issues with large databases having problems in the federal government. Imagine that as we start moving to the cloud environment, and that's where you're going to find an opportunity.
How do you think that open source technology adoption will evolve over the next few years?
I think right now there's probably a better opportunity for evolution than we've had in a long time. Frankly, the money is so constrained within the federal government, and you find the same thing in the states and in other departments of government, even the municipalities, that there'll be an opportunity to take the open source model with its inherent cost savings and ease of adoption. There'll be opportunities for the community to grow into those federal organizations where cash is no longer easily obtained.
Well, thank you so much for chatting with FedScoopTV. We appreciate it.
Well, it's always fun to be here, and it's just a beautiful day here in Washington, D.C., so I look forward to the event.
Thank you.